All right. Well, we are. It's 1 week later from our experience at New York Comic Con. In case you're wondering, giant pretzel.
Yes, there's an enormous pretzel here.
So, but this time last week, I think we were having dinner.
Yeah. We didn't have paid way too much for okay steaks. Like everything else was great, but the steak was
You did, send the bartender to.
Oh, I know. That was my wife's funny when she starts to drink, which isn't very often.
So, why don't we start off in overall impressions? How about you start this because this was your first time at New York Comic Con.
Yes, I've been to Boston for like one day, and I've been to I went to Baltimore with you the one time. But yeah, like New York is just massive on a scale. I mean, I knew it was going to be massive, but it's still just like very surprising and impressive. And because I'm showing people the picture of like kind of like the entranceway,
Yeah.
where and it's just like you just see the massive people, and it's like that's just in between the two major areas where people are. That's not. There's nothing even there.
And even Friday morning when we got in a little bit early, and when they opened the doors, it was just like stampede.
Like Thursday. Thursday was like a little crowded at first, but like it was pretty dead in the morning.
Yeah.
And then Friday we were waiting for one person for one interview, I think, and then you went to go get coffee, and then during that half hour it took you to get through the
Yeah.
Starbucks line, they had let everyone else in, and it was
I
just
thought
like, oh,
I thought
oh
Rob
goodness.
Liefeld was signing. But yeah, even getting in there early, it was, there were lines. So
Yeah, for some of the stuff, I know they're trying to. I don't think either of us did too much like hunting for like, items and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
trying to get in line for New York Comic Con exclusive items.
see, I understand it's, that's some people's, jams, but I I don't have the space or the disposable income to
Yeah,
get 5,000 Funkos. But no,
I'm just glad I don't like Funkos because clear. I mean, I was in the other one and they just had like a couple X-Men ones. Now I had a moment where like, huh. Well, they almost have all the original five X-Men. Maybe I should. Like, no,
it's a,
they don't have Iceman and Angel. Walk away.
I hear it's a slippery slope.
It is.
So, but I got on the train Thursday morning and walked.
You got your day started extremely early.
Yeah, extremely early. But luckily, I got there and it was kind of drizzling that morning. I was afraid that I was going to have to stand out in the rain, and luckily, we're letting press in early.
Well, whenever you came through, they were letting press in. Because I looked at all of the times tables and it said nothing before 10. So, okay, I'll get there around 9:30 or so. And then you're like, I'm inside. I'm like, what do you mean you're inside?
And I was down in Artist Alley too.
So I got there and then they stopped letting. They were like, oh, press is until 10. So they shuffled us all over until there was too much of us. Then they just had to let us go through. So, but that wasn't too bad.
No,
But yeah,
it was fun.
yeah, it was a good time.
I think as I was telling you earlier, I uploaded pretty much all the interviews that we did, and there's probably a good 25 of them.
It doesn't seem like that many when
When you're running around.
yeah, when you're running around. So me and the wife play Pokemon Go, and at the end of the week, it tells you like you get rewards based on how much you walked.
Yeah.
So my wife
Because
was
it's
walking
like
around the city.
Pokemon Fitbit.
Yeah, totally.
I'm glad they're encouraging exercise.
But they had a thing. They have a thing where like like normally I'll get like the first medal, like I walked like so many kilometers. Well, Catherine showed me hers, and she like I walked 30 kilometers. It's like, oh damn.
That pretzel good.
Very good.
Um,
Beers.
yeah, I'm going to have another beer.
Good stuff.
I'll take the nitro chocolate peanut butter porter.
Okay, you're good.
So many.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mild peanut butter flavor.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay, it's good pour. It's good.
It's getting colder. I like the darker beers.
Oh, yeah. Yes, getting the stout season. Yep, that's good. Get it right out for you.
All right, thank you.
And but yeah, she was walking around the city while we were at the con for part of the day. So she walked 30 kilometers, and then I looked at mine, and I did over 70. It was just like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that much walking.
Well, I had about 25,000 steps on Thursday. Of course, that's because I had to walk 7 blocks to get to dinner, but
I'm so sorry about that. I felt like a monster. Because we're sitting there like, Jesus Christ, where the hell's Chad? And then I realized, I'm like, wait, what address did I give him? Oh my god, I
but
felt
it worked out. I
terribly.
picked up the microphone, so
I felt so bad.
which I think did a lot of really helped out the sound. I really don't listen to these, but it was good.
Yeah.
So let's see. So you went to some panels, right?
I went to 2 panels. I was going to do more, but it was just, we got so busy and it's so hard to walk around, and then different ones have lines and
You have to promise your
Yeah.
firstborn and
But I went to, there was Marvel's, or Making Comics the Marvel Way, which was just kind of like a small panel. It had Donny Cates, who writes Venom and Absolute Carnage and Guardians of the Galaxy and the Silver Surfer Black. And they kind of went through one of the script, essentially like going through the script of Silver Surfer Black, going to the artist, like his layouts, and just kind of showing kind of at each step how that process works a little bit. It was kind of interesting and just kind of getting inside the creative process.
oh, that's cool.
Well, for Cates, he's talking about like the 2 of the artists he's working with were like his college buddies, and so it's like I got paid to work with my friends on things that I love.
That's kind of when I did the interview with Stephen Green from Sea of Stars. Interviews below. He was like, because he's like, I don't, during the interview, as long as you don't ask Jason Aaron questions. It's like, okay, no, and most of my questions are about the art and, how you came to be on the project. But apparently they are both from Alabama and they're friends. And
Cool.
so that's how they kind of, are on that story, which I started, reading. I read the first 2 issues before the interview, and then I have 2 or 3 more to catch up.
Okay.
And it's an interesting book. Speaking of interviews, I missed. I was unable to connect with a couple people. I had a setup to do one with Tina Horn, who's writing a new image book. It's SFSX, but basically it's safe sex. They take out the vowels.
I gotcha. Like the kids do.
Yeah, like
The kids love that. They take all the consonants
do?
out, or the vowels out.
Oh. All right,
That's pretty neat for you.
all right, thank you. Oh, cool.
So we got a little machine that does design and stuff. So
That's
this
hilarious.
beer, there you go. So no drink, sir.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
No,
Look at that.
it's got a fist. It says beer. It means this probably means you're gonna get cancer now.
Probably.
Whatever process puts a fist into the foam of your beer.
No, I don't want to drink it.
It's a work. We're gonna get that.
No, it's just now it looks like a Robin symbol.
Now we're gonna get the CGC graded. Yeah, I know. It's got just the R.
It looks like the Tim Drake Robin symbol. Is he still going by Robin, or has he changed his name yet? He's supposed to.
He's in Young Justice, and he's just kind of going as Robin. I mean, he's just dressed in the Robin costume. He's not Red Robin.
Haven't they been teasing that he's changing his name, or?
Have
'Cause-
they?
yeah, because
I haven't. If so, I haven't been keeping up with. I've been seeing a lot of weird, bleeding cool stories this week about different characters at DC taking over for other characters. And it feels very like that point in the '90s. Just all of them talking about that felt like that point in the '90s where like all the main heroes had just
Were
brand
being
new
replaced.
replacements. Yeah, the Amazonian Wonder Woman, the Reign of the Superman, the Kyle Rayner stuff.
well,
And Flash supposedly being dead at around issue 100 or something.
well, yeah, kind of talking about that. I was putting together the pull list that the Dark Multiverse titles are coming out, like the Nightfall.
Okay.
So that's next week, but so kind of looking forward to that. See how much longer they can milk that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no, I missed the Tina Hornet interview, which I was looking forward to, and then the creative team behind Image's Little Bird, which I read the first 2 issues on the train on the way down before I fell asleep. But I'm hoping to hook up with them through email, and then we were supposed to meet Jake Parker, who's the creator of Inktober, which is going on.
I thought we. Oh no, that was the guy we were supposed to meet by the Starbucks, and then
Yeah. And then he got stuck in traffic, and then, then
driving in New York City. What a maniac!
yeah. And then I think that on Saturday he was working on something, but it's okay. I mean, I'll catch up with him on email. And I also ran into the guy who does the Key Collector app.
Okay.
I talked to him over email, and we talked about possibly doing an interview. And I was up in the press lounge taking a rest, and all of a sudden I was like, the guy in front, sitting at the table in front of me, has a thing that says Key Collector. I was like, hold on. So, and I had seen this photo before because from the pictures he sent to go with the interview that I'm working on. I was like, okay, that's more than likely him. So I introduced myself, and but it was cool. It was cool to meet people who I had talked with over email. It was good to see Clark Bull again, who's the PR person for DC. Even though I felt like I was bothering him, but
I'm sure. Yeah, but I'm sure everyone who's trying to get an interview feels like they're bothering him.
I know.
That's how he wants it.
But we talk on email, so or I email him questions for like Steve, Orlando, and eventually he gets back to me or tells him I can talk to him at the Albany Con.
Yeah, we talked to
Joshua Williamson,
Josh Williamson.
which was cool because we both read The Flash.
I'm a little behind, but yeah.
I think I'm a little bit behind too. I think the last one I read was part of the Year of the Villain, The Offer.
Yeah, I think I finished up year 1, and I have a couple to read. I did go to one other panel. That was kind of basically the last thing I did on Saturday, and then we ended up now going back on Sunday. So I went to the Dawn of X panel for Marvel for all the new X-Men books. It was
Like 10 of them.
like 4 or 5 for now. But then they started talking about Wave 2, and that was where they gave us the Wolverine tease.
What's the Wolverine tease?
It was just that, hey, we're making a Wolverine book, and Adam Kubert's drawing it, and
He's going to be in every book.
I mean, that's up to Marvel. As far as them, he's in. It's always possible for him to be an X-Men. Cause they talk kind of more about how that book's going to go. Like the main X-Men book is apparently it's going to be Cyclops. Every issue will be one mission, and he's able to assemble any team he wants for that mission. So like an extreme rotating cast except for him. So I thought that was kind of an interesting thing to do. And then they talked about some of the other books. And the the dude that was the most interesting is the dude writing X Force. I'm gotta think of his name. But like, he had this really rough voice, and me and the dude next to me, who I did not know, we were just like, that can't be his real voice. It was like he was putting on a Batman voice, but I think it actually is his real voice. And he's the dude. He's writing X Force. He's like, talking about like.
Now, was this on the main stage or was it in?
Yeah, this was a main
Oh.
stage. I had to reserve my spot, and the process of figuring out how to do that is very painful because no one knew what to do.
Well, I think because this was the first time that I ever did any roundtable interviews.
Yeah, that was actually I actually thought that was pretty cool.
But it was kind of confusing, trying to figure out where we were supposed to go.
Yeah, well, yeah. No one knew where because we're getting these emails saying, hey, we're going to be in media room 2, or hey, this meeting is in interview room whatever, and then we get there and I got to the moment where like, so I was just looking at the map. I don't see where those rooms are. And so then we had to ask like 5 different people who eventually kind of directed us in the correct area. But just like, yeah, how would we know?
I had to ask Mike Spring, who is also from the Albany area, and like
Pretty much
that's all he when he's at the show. That's
all he does.
he pretty much goes to every panel that or because he has a podcast and
I always see he's always there at the time I go to get comics at Apollonia. So that's how I know him, and he's always dropping movies off to the guy at Apollonia. So I think he does some movie stuff. I did get this as part of the how do cameras work again? I got it was like a Art Adams exclusive variant.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's the same image as he drew the con book. It's the same image, just black and white. But it's very cool. Had it not been so late in the day, I might have tried to run over there and get him to autograph it, but I didn't know if I would have to pay for the autograph.
let's see. We ran into a couple people that we knew.
We ran into Jeff. We ran into our
Jeff,
friend,
Jeff,
Oliver.
who used to contribute to the blog. We saw the 11 o'clock comics guys on the floor, and then I showed up at the Friday night get together,
Oh,
which
you
was
did go
pretty
to
cool.
that.
Yeah,
I couldn't. I remember you were trying to decide going to the whiskey thing or the
I went to
11
both.
o'clock. Oh, well, there you go. Nailed it.
yeah.
Why decide?
But, we're good. Yep. Understand. But yeah, no, I made it to both. I didn't get home till 2 or so.
It sounded like you were having a good time.
It was
I
good.
was glad to see you were having fun. We went out.
Speaking of the Walking Dead thing, it was free booze.
That
But
sounds all right.
they had it was at one of the a bar in the city. And, I guess
Which is good because bars in the city are very expensive.
they are.
So that is a privilege.
But it was put on by the I guess Robert Kirkman. Skybound were partnered and
Is it just for the bourbon, or was the bourbon advertising for something else?
no, it's Walking Dead whiskey.
Okay.
Bourbon whiskey.
I was trying just because I saw there's a new Walking Dead game thing, I think, and I wasn't sure if maybe that had to do with it at all. Like that was just part of a promotional thing for that. But that's cool.
It was nice. They had finger foods, and I got to.
Sorry, just that when you bought, I forget, did you buy like a sandwich or a beer, and then we got led into the round table room and there was food?
Yeah.
I
bought a pretzel.
Okay. Pretzel.
And then we get in there and there's like sandwiches and water and brownies and.
I just grabbed a cookie and water and I was so happy. I was just like, I just needed something to get me.
And here I was
through.
asking if I could, take the can of beer into the.
Yeah. Make sure you hiccup before you ask all your questions.
Well,
Excuse me,
yeah.
Mr. Runaway Man.
Speaking of the Runaways, that was a pretty interesting